What's up again, everybody? Continuing on with the Golden Age combos, we have a fun one sent to me by Adam Holt, centered around this card. This is Sar Colossus, Powering the State, a 4-cost what-if super rare that I just so happened to pull 2 different times when attempting to open a super rare Jubilee, of which I still don't have one, by the way. That says, when fielded, KO all sidekick dice and deal 1 damage to target opponent for each sidekick die KO'd by this effect. With this card, our goal will be to field Colossus onto a board full of sidekicks, KO all of them, and deal all of that damage to our opponent. We'll then want to cycle Colossus so that we can do it again on the following turn. One note to remember, this does KO both yours and your opponent's sidekicks, which opens up some extra Golden Age options for how to go about building a team around this card. Let's take stock of some of the good pieces relating to sidekicks that we can use. Right off the bat, we can leverage our own ramp engine to capitalize on sidekick generation using Common Mimic and Rare Professor X. When you field Common Mimic while a sidekick is in your field zone, you may copy the sidekick stats and then prep 2 dice each time you field another sidekick. You can then use the Mask Global on Rare Professor X to field a sidekick from your used pile, which results in the prepping of 2 dice. The Professor X Global can be used both on your own turn and on your opponent's turn, so you can fairly consistently field 2 sidekicks and prep 4. This is the best large-scale ramp engine in the game, and incidentally, it's a perfect fit for the win con that we have going with Sar Colossus. Other possible synergies that we can pursue include ally characters. Any character with the ally keyword counts as a sidekick while it is in the field zone, allowing us to field allies and KO them alongside our normal sidekick character dice to deal extra damage. Alfred Pennyworth MI5 has the ally keyword and also has this amazing ability that says, when KO'd, you may roll a sidekick or Batman die from your used pile. If you roll an energy result, return Alfred to the field zone at level 1. Either way, return the rolled die to the used pile. So if we field a bunch of Alfred dice and KO them with Colossus, then roll a sidekick in our used pile, there's a 5 in 6 chance that Alfred die will return to the field as a 1/1. Wong, Expert in Camartage, is another great ally character that we can either use as bomb damage when Colossus is fielded or as a backup win con. A 4/3 on top for 2 that has fast is definitely difficult to deal with and can serve a good role as a backup win con. So in total, these 5 cards compose 1/2 of Adam's team submission. Let's take a look at the rest of his team. One of the most important decisions that we have to make is how we actually plan on purchasing Colossus. If we want to hard buy him, we need some way to guarantee all 4 energy types roll on the same turn. That is a huge ask, so Adam decided to circumvent all of that nonsense and went with Rare Nowhere. If you don't know, Rare Nowhere allows you to swap any character in your used pile or field zone for an unpurchased character die with a printed purchase cost of 1 or more than the swapped die. So what that means is if we have a 3-drop in the field or in the used pile, then we can use Nowhere on our turn to swap that 3-drop with a 4-drop, of which Sar Colossus happens to be. Now currently our team doesn't have any 3-drops, so let's throw on the absolutely stellar Golden Age 3-drop in White Tiger. White Tiger is a 3-drop fist character with a decent all-around stat line and a positive ability that allows you to sacrifice a character die when she's fielded. Sacrifice means put a character die into the used, to give her +1/+1 and Overcrush. The best part about her for our team is perhaps her global that says, pay a fist. Once during your turn, each player must field a sidekick die from their used pile, if able. This allows us to field another sidekick from used, triggering the Mimic ramp, as well as saturate both field zones with sidekicks for Colossus to KO. It seems pretty perfect to me. That leaves 1 team slot open before basic action cards. Thinking about how this team currently functions, we have a way to get Colossus. We have a ton of ways to field sidekicks to KO with Colossus, but we do need a way to get Colossus out of the field in order to use his when fielded effect again. We could always attack with him, but if our opponent has other blockers or a global that pushes him out of the attack zone and back into the field, then we may run into trouble triggering his ability multiple times. So Adam adds a cycle mechanic in the form of Fabricate in his final slot. Amber Golem Paragon Construct has a Fabricate 2/5 ability, meaning that if we were to KO 2 character dice with a combined purchase cost of 5 or greater, then we can buy an Amber Golem for free. Now we don't actually care about the Amber Golem dice that we purchase with the Fabricate ability, we're only interested in using the ability to KO our Colossus dice. I can see some issues with the Fabricate here stemming from the fact that we have to KO something alongside Colossus in order to cycle him. Alfred's ability to return to the field after he gets KO'd sort of curbs this issue, but if we somehow miss his ability and he doesn't come back, then we have some issues. We could always KO Mimic alongside, but you kind of want your ramp to stay up. If you have a White Tiger out, then you're KOing a character that is potentially dealing 4 or 5 damage with Overcrush. It feels uncomfortable. This is a spot that I might change when we talk about the possible improvements in a moment. As for the 2 basic actions, Adam included Insect Plague and Instant War. Insect Plague is amazing for both its global that makes it a sidekick unblockable, as well as for the actual die ability that allows you to mill through your entire bag for more sidekick. Instant War is a fun new card from the Warhammer set, due to release in November hopefully, that forces both players to draw and field sidekicks. I like the inclusion of Insect Plague mainly for the global synergy with Wong. If something happens to Colossus, like he gets blanked or you can't get to him or you miss him for any reason, we have this decent backup win con in unblockable Wong, since the ally keyword means that he is considered a sidekick in the field zone. I go back and forth on the Instant War choice. On one hand, it seems like a bit of overkill as we already have so many ways to field sidekicks. On the other hand, it is a new card and it's awesome, so I'll give a swap out suggestion and you feel free to try both of them at home. So this is Adam's Colossus Bomb team. I like it a lot and I feel like it could be very successful in casual play. If I were to make any changes, I would reconsider how we plan to KO Colossus. I'd rather use something like Super Rare Malekith Global, which allows me to pay a bolt and KO a character to purchase an action die for 2 less. This both allows us to KO Colossus on demand, as well as purchase some cheap Instant Wars. Instant War being a 1 cost after Malekith Global requires much less of a tempo and energy investment than just hard buying it for 3. So if you don't like Instant War, you could always swap it out for a Pump Global as well, like the one on Haymaker or the new card Raised Shields. Both provide other opportunities if you decide to purchase the action as well, which again has synergy with Super Rare Malekith because you can purchase them cheaper, giving you just all around more options if Colossus gets shut down. Changing things up even more, you could even consider swapping out the 2-cost Wong for the extremely powerful 3-cost Foot Ninja that gets +1/+1 buff for every sidekick in the field zone. And on top of that, it's considered an ally, making it targetable with the Insect Plague Global, allowing you to push in with some insane 12/12 unblocked damage. I would personally be hesitant to put that card on the team because it is just so fast and powerful with these other pieces around it that you'd likely just leave Sar Colossus on the bench and just win with Foot Ninja, which kind of destroys the whole point of the team. A more synergistic supporting card if you wanted to swap out Wong would be the Foot Ninja Glassjawed that has the ally keyword as well as a when KO'd ability that moves a Foot Ninja from used to the field on its 2/2 side, giving you another attacker after the first Foot Ninja gets KO'd when fielding Colossus. And finally, if you want to swap any of these cards out, there's also the consideration of an energy fixer that makes some of these purchases and some of these global ability usages a little bit more easy. And really you could fix to a lot of different types of things, like fixing to bolts or fixing to masks. Fixing a fist even works if you plan on using the White Tiger Global a lot, so that's a consideration to make as well. So there are some fun cards to consider swapping out and mixing up on this team. Let me know what you think about Sar Colossus and this team in the comments below, and if you have a fun combo that you'd like to share with everyone, hit me up on the DM Armada Facebook page with the Dice Coalition Team Builder link of your team. Also, we're currently hovering at around the 920 subscriber mark, meaning that the 1,000 subscriber giveaway is slowly approaching. So if you'd like a chance to win some free stuff, head over to the giveaway video and leave a comment with what you'd like to see as prize support. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well, because I'll be taking the names of every subscriber that left a comment and entering them in the prize pool drawing. So if you leave a comment but you didn't click that little red subscribe button, you unfortunately get left out of that little prize pool drawing. As always, everybody, thanks for watching.